Hi, welcome to Nollywood Film Club podcast. My name is Mr. C of Roca Critic, and first of apologies for the audio. I am on holiday, but I am still bringing you quality content in the form of a very fresh, same old discussion you hear in Nollywood. Um, no, but yeah, this was this. Despite what you're about to hear, this is not the discussion of Letters to Strangers. This is actually a conversation about a different film. Um, and we have what I think is an interesting discussion. There's a little bit at the end that I wish I could clarify on, but I'm going to let it speak for itself. But it's back. We're back to a slightly shorter time. I think it's also good conversation, to be honest. Nice and brisk. So without much waffling, I hope you enjoy Nollywood Film Club discussing Love in the Pandemic. Okay, welcome to Nollywood Film Club. We do talk about Nollywood movies or discussion every Sunday, 6 p.m. What? Today we are going to be discussing Love in a Pandemic. We'll do the good, we'll do the bad, and we'll do a summary. If we have time for pushback, we'll do some pushback. But right, we're going to start with the things that we liked in Love in a Pandemic. All right, Vanessa, you want to tell us
the only
some
one
things?
here. All this
Yes.
preamble is on them.
I was looking for anybody else, to be honest, and literally I came up.
It's
It's
not
just
working.
because.
It's not working. It's even good, God sake, because I don't have a lot of time for film club today. I'm literally painting my face because I'm about to head out. But
Selfie.
but I decided I was gonna show and talk about this. So good. I guess the things I liked about Love in a Pandemic. Love in a Pakurumo, love in a pandemonium, love in a Panasonic. I'm going to be calling it many, many things today. Okay. I thought about this a little. Okay, so I guess I liked the music slash soundtrack in this. I kind of did that. I've been thinking about you, Bolanle song that they even did music video for at the end.
Music video.
I do really like that music. The young man that do it, whether his name is Eric Who or somebody who shall did the name of the guy, and the music do nice. I really like that song. It made up for a lot of nonsense, but I really like that song. Um, I guess I liked some of. I guess overall the visuals weren't bad. It wasn't a bad looking ish film. Like it wasn't offensive to the eyes, is what I'm saying. Um, I'm sure Mr. C was offended by something, but but it wasn't but it wasn't offensive to my eyes. Um, I guess they proved Beyonce wrong about blue lights on black girls because it wasn't too bad. That scene when they were under the covers, the blue light wasn't horrendous on their skin, so I like that as well. Um, what else do I like? Chineke God. Kini mo like ni film ye?
Intention, uncle.
The what? The what?
Stop,
Intention.
stop
I've
it.
told you people I'm not making room for intentions this year. I'm not making room for intentions this year. So that's why I'm lost for words because there's nothing else to say except for the fact that I see the intentions and I don't want to see the intentions because that cannot be the slogan of Film Club. We can't keep seeing intentions. We're better than that. Um, yeah, I like the music video at the end, and that's it, guys. I tried. I really tried. I watched this film twice. I tried.
Okay. All right, Mrs. C, what do you say about some of the things that you did like about Love in a Pandemic?
So, unlike Vanessa, I'm actually going to like the intention. I haven't given up on liking the intention. So I know it's not ready for me to move forward from there. Um, what I like. Vanessa has already said the music video, and I really liked the music
It
video.
was the best part of the film, guys.
So much joy. We honestly need to go back to making music for our film. It was really nice. I really liked the music video. It was fun. What else did I like? I like. Oh, it felt kind of throwback-ish. All the talking on the phone made me think of Midnight Call, and that was gave me some good vibes. Being a teenager, calling your crush at midnight because people don't want to buy credit during the day. It was nice and nostalgic vibes for me. So all the talking on the phone was kind of nice. Um, I like the idea of people falling in love through conversations. Quality of conversation on the other hand, not so much, but sure, right? That was something. What else did I like? I think Dayami played like romantic lead well. Teniola. I do always love Teniola. She's a beautiful baby girl. What else? What else? What was that like? Yeah, Vanessa said it didn't look offensive. Looked alright. And there were some shots I like. I'm not stealing your this thing. I'm not stealing your this thing, but there are some shots I liked, right? Kind of looked. What now?
Yeah, talk on.
I feel like someone put some thought behind some shots, Sha. Like, what was it? When he drove away? When he drove away and they closed the gates on Teniola and you could just see her through the slit. I was like, oh, someone thought about that. That's nice. Is that it? Is that it?
It's not. Isn't me asking?
I'm trying to think. I think that might be it.
Okay. All right. Omar, do you have any of the things that you liked? Whilst I go through the comments, whether people can help us with things that they liked.
It's gonna be a short space.
So hi guys. What I like about Love in the Pandemic. Sorry, I have cold, so I can't speak loud. So I like the premise of the movie. That's a good premise. Like I like what they were trying to aim for. I like the location design, especially for Nancy's character's apartment. Um, I like the bond between the two sisters. Kind of was be okay. What else that I think the performances average. Like they are like not bad and not that good. They haven't played himself. He also played. Nancy did the usual best. I think this is one of her best performances. Actually, even though she's not that a good actress, but it is manageable. And what else do I like about this movie? I think I like the soundtrack too. I like the song at the end because it was kind of funny. I was just laughing. What is this? So, what else do I like? It's a good picture. Not bad, not excellent, but it's just it's good for the eye. So it's okay.
All right. Okay. So, Omar Didi has credited it as picture, which is a huge positive. We don't often get such tush words on this show, on this film club. But let me read some of the likes. Some people have sent actual likes, unlike what people have been doing here. No, Omar Didi said some. To be fair, I'm talking about the others. Everybody says she likes the sound ish. I like that they used the same house I saw in Palava. Is that really like?
It's a nice
yeah.
People tell her what she like.
I like the potential aspect. We can see what you are trying to be. I liked the makeup was not harsh. I agree. I like that she was a proper mumu. Well, you'll like Nancy. You like a lot of Nancy films. All right. And what else? Let me see if did I miss anything else? Yes. So, Orinto says it had its moments. Jollof rice plug almost killed me.
That's true. That was funny.
Yeah. What else? Somebody said something else. I liked Ricky says I liked the movie, but why was me running and falling in that? One. Okay, one like at the time before we get to dislikes. Ricky says I liked when Bukola broke her ex car windows. Then when the ex made her to cook and enter Uber, it was really emotional and real. Ricky, yeah, all right. No, I agree. I thought that was nice.
Yeah. We did forget.
Hey, your turn has passed. We don't want to hear from you.
Building on something right now, the makeup or the lack of harsh makeup. I like that there was a lot of times where she was barefaced. Both of them, both her and Teniola, were barefaced because I'd just been complaining about it like a few days before we watched it. That everybody's going around their day-to-day life with like heavy bridal makeup. And that's, and then you see them just at home and it's just barefaced. I was like, oh, that's nice. I like that.
Okay. All right. So, Atas, do you have things that you liked about Love in a Pandemic, or what did you like about Love in a Pandemic?
Surprisingly, I did not hate this movie. Let's see. I took notes. So I thought it was a cute movie overall. Their meet cute, quote unquote, was random enough that it worked fine. I enjoyed the whole scene of them side by side on the phone, where it looks like they're in the same room. It was cute. I liked seeing Dami be something other than mean. So it was nice to see him be sweet and kind of charming and sort of cringe, like a normal Lagos boy the entire movie. I liked the villain. Like, he was villainous enough where I really, really did not like him. He was very much a gaslighting dickhead, and I wanted to fight him the entire movie. So that was okay. There were very many bad bitches. Everybody in this movie was so cute, which is great for a romance because it makes it easier to watch. I liked how cute her room was, the princess bed and the twinkling lights from the house next door, and all the pink, the marbling of her laptop. It was very thoughtful and cute and fit in with her sort of dumb blonde. Yeah. I liked the music video at the end. I haven't seen it done too many times, but it worked and it fit in with the movie, and it was a cute song. And I also loved that she broke his windows. It was finally her like having some backbone. So
Okay, no, that's legit. Look, Atas kind of liked. Well, it seems like she thought it was okay. She said she didn't hate it.
Yeah,
All right.
the make you was kind of cute.
Okay. Pixel Bite. Please, we're saying the things we liked about Love in a Pandemic. We'll do the bad in a bit, or things we didn't like in a bit. So what did you like about Love in a Pandemic? Pixel Bite.
First, I'll say that I like that you had to explain all of this to me. Okay, so I'm joining with a sketchy handle, long backstory. So, what do I like about Love in Pandemic? First, the shirt. The shirt she wore still broke or something, right? I kept staring at it like anytime she comes on screen. I'm like, I really need to get this shirt. So that's one. I like romance. I like romance a lot, a whole lot. I like romance a lot. So this works as, a cute story. So it's feel good. I like the set design. Like Otas mentioned, I like that bedroom. It looks quaint and cute. I like Teniola a lot. In this, I thought she looked great. Montana too. Their bodies were bodying. The music, nice, closing the OST. And for some reason, I like Esodike here. I thought it was ridiculous, but at the same time, I think he has settled into this role very much. And I also like the trope that I like this, meeting, speaking, getting intimacy via dialogue, even before seeing the other person sort of romance. I like it a lot. So yeah, that's all the things that I like about this. Thank you.
All right.
Wait.
Thanks, Pixel.
Hold on. Stop interrupting me. Mo, do you know how
I'm the host?
Get out. I'm your co-host. Sorry. And this is how good Teniola looked, right? In this. Mr. C kept going, forgive her now. What could she have done that was so
Excuse me, that's a legitimate, like,
Oh no, I agree with you.
that's a legitimate claim.
I
To
agree
be
with you. You should
honest,
have forgiven her.
Daniela could have killed his mother and I'd
I'd
be
be
like,
like,
hey, yo,
I'm sure she deserved it.
maybe she said something. What did she say? No, oh, yeah. Cynthia, all right. Stuff you liked and love in a pandemic.
Okay. Oh, no. Am I on? Yes.
You are on, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Oh, great. I don't know. I went in with, or I'm talking from a strong bias because someone told me to watch a letters to a stranger first. So I don't know. I entered with a lot of bias in this movie, or I have bias in this movie. But anyways, I kind of liked Tenny when she appeared. And that's because a lot of time I was already tired of the other people's acting. So when she appeared and she gave attitude, I was like, thank you, God. Someone that can act has appeared on my screen. I liked Esodike's girlfriend, the girl that played Esodike's girlfriend. I don't know her name, but she was very pretty and she I don't know. And I did think yeah, I think she gave a very okay performance compared to the person that was leading. So yeah, I liked her. I was also happy to see Ronke Odunsoya. So I enjoyed her performance in introducing the Kujus, and I was like, okay, I would like to see her in more movies that goes to cinema. And I saw her here. Not like her performance was great, but she was acting with her eyes and eyebrows. Unfortunately, there was not much to work with, but I kind of liked her. Then um I think honestly I can't remember. Not that I can't remember, I'm thinking. Then yeah, I think that was it really. I just enjoyed seeing Tandy, the babe that played Esudike's girlfriend, Ronke Odusonya, and maybe it's because I watched a movie first before I watched this. I would have probably be more interested, but a lot of things just made me uninterested. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. If you do want, thanks, Cynthia. If you do want to submit some of your likes, you can just comment underneath the space, or you can use hashtag Nollywood Film Club. And if you want to come up, request as a speaker, you can also do that. All right. Things that I liked about Love in a Pandemic. All right. So there's a thing I have been sort of calling out Nollywood on for a while, and it's every time when they want to do a phone call, video call on their phone, they always use their big camera with their big lenses, and it just looks so it just looks bad. They did not do that in this. It looks like they actually recorded using the front of a phone camera. I mean, they were probably overlit at this point, but I was like, hey, we're making progress in this aspect. That was nice to see. Maybe just turn down the lighting a little bit.
Good.
But yes, no, it's part of the good now. That's but I'm it's just small comma. A lot of the things I have to say, I have a small comma. I thought Demi was good in this. I thought it was well cast. I think somebody whose voice you kind of really like. I thought that was good casting for that, and it made sense. Nancy, on the other hand, whatever, but Demi, I thought was well cast, and I actually liked him as the lover boy. He's just I just think he's such a well-rounded performer. I think there's this scene, and I think they knew that scene was kind of good because they replayed it. They replayed it. They replayed it in at the end. That scene where they were both on the bed. I can't remember what Nancy was saying. Whether it's like Yes.
I can
Why are you so
recite the dialogue
nice to
It's
for you
so
me?
because I
good
just
with
watched
your
it.
friends. I imagine what you'd be as a
No, let
lover
me
or
recite
something.
it for you. I know.
Oh,
No.
sorry, recite, recite.
Jesus.
Ansin, why are you so nice to me? And then he goes, of course I'm nice to you because we're friends. And she's like, if you're like this as friends, I wonder what you'd be like as a lover. And then David does that
Okay.
cringy chuckle.
All right. Okay. All right. I didn't even need. I didn't need your commentary. I'm doing my good. But I did like the way he responded with that. Of course, that's what friends. That's what friends do. Um, friends are nice to each other or something like that. I liked that delivery a lot. And I honestly bought him into her, his character anyway, into her. What else did I like? I really liked Esadike in this. I thought it was a very fun performance from him. Uh, uh, ever so slightly, and even to be honest, same with Demi. There were parts where Demi was overdoing with the voice. Because I guess at this point, I don't know. There's like we know like he's there because of his voice. I get it, but like he already has the voice. He didn't have to lean into it sometimes a little too hard. But that's just just small this thing. But I did like that. For Esodike, I thought there were moments where he probably over just slight, but such a fun performance from him. I really liked it, and this is why I am too sure that Esodike can at least be our whatever Henry Cavill is for Hollywood. I don't know about looks and whatever. That's apparently not my spec, but in terms of just like what they can do in that sort of person you that can sometimes do fun characters. It doesn't have to be the strongest performer, but I liked this. I really liked this performance from him. Some of the shots we've talked about the shots on the bed. I thought that was really nice. I'm pretty sure I've seen that in another film. I can't remember, but irrelevant. I like that they used it here, and I like the way it was used. There's just a lot of cool shots that they did put that they put thought into. I liked that. I liked the. There's a time where Dami's character is loading up, is like helping set up this babe's Instagram for her. Right, he's setting it up, and then you see it's like a close up on his face, and then it zooms out, and you see Uduak, aka Tenyola, hot chick on his lap, and you're like, wow, this baby's just always in the picture. Even when she's not in the picture, she's always in the picture. I liked that. And I wish maybe there was more comedy in this, but like I did like sort of the lightheartedness. We didn't delve into anything. Oh, somebody died, or they didn't throw in any of that. Nobody was sexually assaulted. None of any of this thing that to make you feel sorry for anybody. She was just, I guess, like her thing. This one was that she thought she was overweight. Okay, but yeah, So people have talked about the score. I agree with that. That was my side. I liked that. All right. Pixel Byte, I see your hand up. What is this adding on? Or?
Yeah, I know I did not mention it, but I wanted to talk about the lighting also. I I like the lighting a lot for the sort of film that it is, romance. I thought that it worked in almost all the scenes. I mean, maybe except that time where they were talking on the phone. I get what they were going for, but I thought it was too close up. That would be maybe camera, but I thought that the lighting worked perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Like, there's just a lot of moments. The feel of the film, it does feel like there's something a little warm about it, and sometimes it's shot with this depth of field where Nancy is close. It's just like it feels feels kind of cute. The film, there's something very nice and warm about the way it's shot and the way it's lit and all of that. Yes, I agree with the lighting thing. I know there's a little bit of bisexual lighting in there, but it's still, yeah, it's not as egregious as something like Hey You. I did not like just everything was just, I don't know. I just this looks nicer and this looks better in my eyes. All right. So we're gonna do the bad,
I guess so.
All right. Vanessa, do you want to tell us some of the things that did not sit well with you?
Yes. I love a romance, right? It's my favorite genre. And I get really offended. It's a Nollywood thing where they don't show me people falling in love, but they tell me people are falling in love. I don't want to hear about it. I want to see it happen right in my very before. That's the reason why I'm watching this. Is watching people fall in love, not hearing them say, "Oh, I'm falling in love with you," or "I like this person." It's not working. It's not really working. So that really just took me out of this completely because it just didn't feel like I was watching like. And I think, especially with something like this, where it's basically Love is Blind, but in a Panasonic, is the depth of the conversations have to be worth us believing that you guys have developed these strong emotions for each other. And for goodness sakes, who wrote the dialogue between um Bolanle and what's his face? Alex,
Alex.
that is his name. I wanted to say Richard. Alex Loruko. Only pay. Their conversations were so surface level. Things like, oh, I do. What was the name of the website that I say he pick up job in the middle of the night? I don't want just to be a customer service guy. I wish I had more talent. And then he goes, oh, cooking is it? And I'm like, guys, is this the conversation people are saying is gonna make these two people fall in love? Is this really the conversation? Like, are we for real? For real? These are the conversations that they're gonna have, and they've developed these strong emotions that this guy will leave Asaba and a girl like Teniola behind. Let's be for real. These conversations are not conversationing. Come on. Also, I found Bolanle quite whiny. And Nollywood does this thing with female leads, especially in romances. They make them really whiny, and it's annoying as hell. Because why is she so like really? Haba.
The worst.
Can I just say, I think that's a Nancy
Oh no,
problem.
I'm getting
I
there. I'm
mean,
getting there. I'm getting there.
okay, all right.
I'm getting there. Another dislike for me is I want to burn. I want to burn all the. I want to burn. I want to burn. Like set a bonfire to every single. What do they call these things? Narration in Nollywood films. Like literally, I want to set all the narrations in Nollywood films in the past 2 to 3 years and set a huge bonfire on them because why? Why was it necessary? And it genuinely just clued me into why I don't like Nancy as an actress. Not beyond the fact that she can't act, but her voice. It sounds so mean, but God. And then when she was doing the narrative, it was almost like she was giving us presenter Nancy voice. And presenter Nancy voice isn't my favorite voice either. But like other Nancy voice is also whiny. So I was like, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. You people are not really giving me a room to move around. It was hard. And I felt like such a mean person. But it just hit me that I genuinely I do not like Nancy's voice. I don't like it at all. What else don't I like? Yeah. The reveal. So, Mr. C, the reason why I gave you a thumbs down when you were talking about he has the voice. I beg. Let's go and check it. Let's go and check it. I'm very, very sure that there are some unknown male actors in Nigeria with much better voices. Cynthia mentioned watching Letters to a Stranger before watching this. And Letters to a Stranger was the first time quite a number of us met Yemi Black. And that voice will give you jiggy butterflies in your tummy. that voice will hook you. This, see, literally, the minute Deyemi said there's no money or Deyemi Lele, I didn't even, I didn't even need. Mind you, I'd completely forgotten that I saw him on the cover of the film, the poster of the film. But like, live super be like, as I heard this voice, money, Deyemi Lele, which was another reason why I want to burn that purple hoodie that they put him in. I'm genuinely building a big bonfire because that purple hoodie, if I should grab that purple hoodie, I don't know whatever the director thought he was doing with that purple hoodie and hiding the purple hoodie and Deyemi's lips are showing from. Excuse you, everybody. We've been watching. Is it Deyemi that has been in every single film in Nollywood in the past 5 years that is supposed to be a review for us? Is that really supposed to be a review? It wasn't a surprise. I wasn't excited. I wasn't gig. I've seen Deyemi 551 times. 551 times since 2020 in film. Now, it is not a surprise. It's not a review that is spectacular. They're even shooting him from the back. That scene where, even though that is kitchen, do fine. But when he was sitting at that kitchen table and they were sitting at the back, and then they now pan the camera, money, oh, this review, quite admirable. A for effort. A for effort, but he didn't really have the desired effects because I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised at all. Also, this whole thing, God forbid they will not use us for jollof rice, so everybody say amen. But this whole thing, I'm like, is it that she talks herself into being in relationship with people? Because even this one with Demi, it's not love. Because this one is even barely a friendship. Kadipe is companionship where you have a pen pal. Okay, she love. Because it seems like the same way she talked herself into believing that she liked Deyemi enough for her to make a profession of love. It's the same way she talked herself into believing that she loved Esodike's character. Because I'm not understanding how someone will come to your house, eat your jollof rice, have sex with you, and vamoose, and you consider that a relationship. Like, a lot of the writing just felt... I don't think I hated this film. It just felt really, really underwhelming. Especially because Nollywood has done it before and has done it better. Letters to a Stranger is, and this is back in the 90s. Nollywood has done this and done this better. So if you're gonna do this, do this. Yemi Black was given to us as a fresh face. All of us were like, this man is tall, this man is yeah, the boys. No, beautiful. If these people have taken the time, they let them look for an unknown face, handsome Bobo that do have nice voice. All of us will be like, Tani Bobo, whose voice is this? And then we too will be invested in the reveal, not by Purple Woody. Not by Purple Woody, you people. Also, the one thing that was really egregious to me, oh my God, this concealer is going to dry down and I'm going to call myself. Okay. The one thing that was really egregious to me was what was the purpose of her weight being a thing? And I say this because apparently Nancy took great effort into putting on weight for this role. And to be quite honest with you, it had zero effect on whatever story they were telling. Because the truth is, nothing in this film said anything about why her weight mattered. Was this a self-esteem issue? Did she really consider herself... Wait. There's no backstory to give us anything. And I'm not saying give us a whole 99 stories about why she's the way she is, but at least give us some inkling into her thought process and why she considers herself Chubby Bolanle. Who calls her Chubby Bolanle? Because nobody called her Chubby Bolanle in the entirety of this film except her. So, like, who calls you Chubby Bolanle? Why is that a name that you have taken upon yourself? How does that impact all your relationships? How does that impact the current relationship that you are in and how you are being treated? And how does that impact how you are going to be approaching this supposed new relationship that you are getting into? Honestly, she started this film as Chubby Bolanle and ended this film as Chubby Bolanle, who is now a cook.
She also worked out at the end.
Oh,
Come
sorry,
on.
and
Come off with it.
that is on treadmill. Chubby Bolanle on treadmill and the twisting of rope. It genuinely had no impact on the story. And I hate telling stories about women of fuller size and plus size women where it becomes about their weight. So I guess I appreciate that it wasn't about her weight. But then you don't say something about... There was this whole thing pre us seeing the film and Nancy adding weight for the role and all of that. And it's like... And I was waiting for why it was so important. And I just didn't see it. And it was really disappointing to me. Because if there was no point to it, so it shouldn't have even been it should have been a non-issue. Because why can't a straight size skinny girl find love over the phone? Like I'm confused. If like let's just do what it is. Like, to be honest, like her weight was of no impact in this, and I just thought I guess it was a very half-assed way of giving her some depth, but you could have given her depth beyond that. I don't know. I guess I also I don't know. This is the thing. I don't hate this film. I've watched it twice for film club, but I don't hate it. I just really find it very underwhelming. And it could have been done a lot better. It could have had much more of an impact if just tiny little things were tidied up here and there. But I really love the I've been thinking about you Bolanle song, and I would like to listen to it more.
All right. Okay. Anyway, thanks, Vanessa. No, I do agree on just the hiding DMA, because like if you're going to hide anybody's face in this Nollywood life, it should not be DMA, son. Because DMA's face has been all over Nollywood films for forever. But a slight disagreement with the thing, like one of the reasons why you shouldn't hide his voice, because Dami's voice is pretty unique. You hear that
Unique is it?
voice, I
But
mean, like
Oga is very recognizable.
it's
It's not unique enough
recognizable
for the
now.
specificity of this role. For you people to say for this to be such a
Okay, I
reveal, like
disagree. I don't disagree. I think his voice is nice. I think he has a nice. He's got a
I
nice
beg it,
voice,
don't
and
worry.
if
I don't know.
if
You
maybe
just
it's
like
because it
JLE.
has
The
been
voice didn't
littered,
nice. It didn't thick.
and
It
when
didn't thick.
eh, maybe if his voice has not been littered so much in this, maybe it's because too much supply, demand has gone down. But I think his voice on its own is a decent one, and it made sense. There are definitely many people's voice that I can imagine putting in there that I'd be like, well, if this is it, he's not one of them. Anyway, but um, where are we? We are at. Amadudu is not on. So who's next?
Let me
Is it a
see.
task? Pixel Byte.
A task for Pixel Bytes.
A task, please. Tell us some things that didn't sit with you.
Okay. Also took notes. I'm just gonna. The timeline is very confusing, and most of that is because the sister is heavily pregnant the entire movie. And so there's no way to tell if 1 week passes or 1 month or 1 year. But the progression of some of the things happening is definitely needed to have been at least over 6 months to a year. However, who knows? Um, Uduak. That's all I have there. But I think I just didn't understand. I didn't understand her purpose in the movie other than looking hot. I don't know what happened with them. I don't know why they split. I don't know why she's suddenly back in the house. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why he agreed for her to be back. Um, I also didn't understand the slow reveal to Dayame's voice when his voice is one of the most obvious voices in Nollywood. I thought it was like doing a slow reveal for Peter Doce. It just didn't make any sense. Um, the 2 minute monologue at the end was so cringe. I wanted to peel my skin. We don't get enough of the actual love story. They never get a chance to deepen as lovers. It's mostly just seems like friendship with like promises of a hint of romance, which I guess can be its own thing. I just feel like I'm waiting for part two to see them actually fall in love. But it was still cute. It took her way too long to figure out her boyfriend had a girlfriend. It did not feel like that was actually a relationship. We also didn't really know how long they had been together for or if they were actually really dating because I didn't understand why she was just never at his house or it was just weird. Um anyways, but they drag that particular tension for too long and so we don't get enough time for them to fall in love because we're stuck doing that nonsense. However, we have two love triangles and they aren't spaced out properly. DM's ex, so Udoak should have been introduced like later in the end after they were already in love as a final tension. I didn't like the lead, and I don't know if it was just her acting necessarily this time, but the character is just a little pathetic. and really bad at customer service. I don't know why she was doing that. But and final thing here is his running to her event was hilarious. That's it.
All right. Thanks for test. I think a couple of things. I think the first thing is the reason why they divorced was because she divorced. They broke up. Teniola, Uduak, and Alex is because she lied about her genotype. And what was the other thing? Pregnancy. The pregnancy thing.
There's a pregnancy?
Yes, her sister being pregnant.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So the pregnancy thing, actually, I thought the pregnancy was a decent way to show passage of time, because when
Nancy's
homegirl,
just
when
getting in.
Bolanle just comes home, when they send them home to work from home for the panoramic, she gets a message from her sister that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So by the time we're having this resolution, her sister's in labor.
No, but 30 minutes into the movie, her sister is literally already like a house. No offense to the actress.
No.
Yeah,
Because
but that's 30 minutes into the movie, and then by the time she gives birth is like the last 10 minutes of the movie.
I guess some people just carry heavy.
So it's like
because
the first 30 minutes of the movie is like what, a few weeks, and then the next hour of the movie is what, 9 months.
I guess some people just carry heavy or task.
Yeah, well, that's what I didn't. I just assumed all of it was different types of carrying. But yes, until she was in, 9 months, I didn't say anything. All right. Okay. But thanks. Ahmad Dudu is back. Before Ahmad Dudu goes, I'm gonna read some of the comments. Rencha says, the narration really added nothing to the film. Torreira says, I like the home looks. No makeup, just vibes at home. Torreira says, they talked about falling in love. I didn't see it. The conversations were bland. Tenny and Demi had a lot of unfinished business for them to use one scene to explain to us. Okay. And I like the home looks, no makeup. Okay, I think I already said that. Okay, Rentosa says the story felt like a boring filler arc in an anime. Wow, Simone. Gosh. All right, Omo Dudu, please go on.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, my dislikes. Okay, sorry. Before I go to dislikes, I wanted to say something about the whole Panasonic thing. They paid attention to details. I like how the whole face mask, delivery thing, bumping off teeth. I think they did well with that. So, my dislikes. I hate the dialogue of this movie. It sounded off in my ears. I was like, okay, why are they speaking like this? Why are they talking like this? The dialogue is not okay. I think they could do better with that. Oh, sorry, someone is making. Okay. About the introduction of DM's character, I was like, why are they hiding DME? Because from his voice, you could know that this is DME. And why do they need to do that? DME is someone that almost everybody, even a 6-year-old kid would know that this is DME. This is the actor. So I don't know why they were hiding him. And then the sister, I kind of feel like the sister is lonely, but what she was saying was that her husband is around this and that, but we didn't see the husband until the end. I think I saw one Arab, is he Lebanese or Arab man, then kind of, but I felt the sister was lonely throughout the movie. I don't know, maybe I'm the one that felt that way, but I felt that the sister was lonely throughout the movie. And then I wanted to say something I've forgotten. So, Nancy's performance, I think here is about Nancy as a customer care service provider. Like she was rude throughout the performance as a desk help officer. She was rude. And there's some things she said that I was like, okay, even if the person calling I mean, the client is very naughty. There are some things you won't see as someone providing a service to them. You would be patient. So when they were using rudeness as like a motivation for her to quit her job, I was like, sorry, why you guys sleeping since? Nobody has reported that this person is rude. She was rude. And I think they could have done better with that character. She would have been the sweet girl person. They were trying to play her being a sweet girl, but there's some things she said that no, they were off. So what else do I hate about this movie? I don't think. Oh, well, that's all I can remember because I've even forgotten most of everything about the movie. It was even in this where you guys are talking that I remember that there is a case in the movie. I can't. I'm trying to like. I don't know. Maybe my brain is suppressing the movie. I don't know, but I'm trying not to remember things, especially the pregnancy. The pregnancy part. It was until there that you see that the sister is heavily pregnant and then she gave birth. Okay, I was like, how come the whole timeline is like this? That's all I have to say.
All right. Okay, another more people about the pregnancy. Tass, is it quick?
Yeah, it's very quick. Yeah, so because I just wanted to expand on the pregnancy thing. So she's like barely pregnant the first 30 minutes. And then she's heavily pregnant, but in that time, Nancy is still with her boyfriend, starts talking to this guy, breaks up with her boyfriend, starts a new career. Like it's a whole timeline that happens in that timeline between when her sister is like 9 months pregnant, can barely walk, and then when she gives birth. But yeah.
Okay. I didn't pay attention to that timeline in relation to the pregnancy. So it's possible it wouldn't be the first time Hollywood doesn't pay particular attention to that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I can't confirm or deny myself. But thanks for sharing. I think it's a Pixel Bite.
Okay, so I don't know where to start from. First, I want to say that Nollywood, pay your writers. I'll start from that. Because this movie, like almost every other movie that came out this year, have had writing problems. So when we're talking about the good parts, I remember saying that I really like this trope in romance, trope where strangers meet over some medium, letters, online, by phone call, whatever, and then they develop some form of intimacy. These tropes have been used. You've got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, If I Can's Lunchbox. In fact, I love Lunchbox a lot. The two actors, protagonists did not mention love in 1 minute, but that's one of the most intimate movies I've seen in like the past decade. And the OG Nollywood reference, Letters to a Stranger, when it came out in 2007, it was like a whole new period for Nollywood. It was amazing. It was properly written. Kudos to Victor Sanchez Agawa. Now back to Love in Pandemic. Nollywood has a writing problem. Plot, setup, and characterization. I think it is criminal the way we develop characters for romance. I would give it a pass if it was on YouTube or if it was Yuroko. But if you are taking film to the cinemas, it is because I assume that you have some sort of respect for your audience and you intend to give them like a full, properly written, tight character and story. The dialogue in this Love in Pandemic is a pandemic in itself. Like I think the first 10 20 minutes we just any spotting, in this pandemic, why are you leaving me alone in this pandemic, in this pandemic, in this pandemic, in this flippy pandemic, who speaks like that? First it was jarring because I thought, okay, maybe if she had used in this lockdown, because the idea is that we're in the lockdown, I would assume that so much of that period outside of mask and okay, and that's why I like as an aside, I like the conversation between the Uber driver and Nancy's character. But that's what, outside of that, I would assume that there's some form of research, even in the way they speak. So it just felt very lazy in the way this dialogue was written. Even when they met the first time and, the wrong number thing, and DME said something about, you're talking because you like my voice. It was so weird. I'm like, do you people talk to each other like this in real life? Is this like if you're attacking somebody? even if it was a mistake. I think it was in that moment that I told myself I did another note to go and watch Letters to a Stranger as palate cleanser. Like it was in that moment. In that moment, I was like, nah, I have to watch Letters to a Stranger again. There is no way I will make this experience the last experience I'm having of this kind of conversations. And then, like every other person I said, I don't know how they fell in love. I did not glimpse any intimacy. There was that time when say, "Why are you nice to me?" In that moment, I was like, "Pick your self-esteem from the floor. Pick it up." As in, I'm like, "Are you this? Why are you saying why are you nice to me?" And then he says, "Oh, I'm nice to my friends," and I was just very shocked. I was very shocked. I was like, "Why are you speaking to somebody that you like that? If you're going to," but anyways, that's their business. And another thing that I didn't like was yeah, I think Vanessa has mentioned that. Wait, why is it of note to us? Whatever. And then yes, establishing our characters, like getting to know them exactly for who they are. At what point did we know that she liked cooking? She mentioned it more than 30 minutes into the movie that she liked cooking. And it was just some form of, like, as an aside, like before then, I would not see watching this movie. There is no way I would have thought that she would end up cooking jollof by like the by 60 minutes. There is no way. Nobody could have seen would have seen that coming. I mean, they did not even put a hint. It was not written on a goal somewhere, or maybe we see her cooking, rather we see her eat. So I thought that it was part of the chubby thing, when they said, "Oh, I started with chubby Bolanle." So I thought maybe it's a chubby thing. We always seen her putting Pringles in her mouth, or the aspect that she cooked for Esso's character. So I'm like, oh yeah, maybe that. And then from nowhere, like, oh, I think that, yeah, cooking. And I'm like, yeah, you should do something. I'm like, wait, where did that come from? And then before we knew what was going on, she was cooking jollof rice. I say, just like that. Again, I don't have a problem with how they've chosen to do it. If it works for somebody else, fine. But there's this thing when you're creating your characters and you establish something about them, and you see clearly a reason why this character is leaving, the job they were stuck with for something they're passionate about. And we are using this pandemic as the inciting, like the whole cursor to them changing. Because when she started with the narration, it was like, our entire life changed, because of this pandemic. She even found love inside. So we've already seen how, they've already established a workplace. So like, yeah, okay, she worked in customer care. And then you showed us how people talk to her and she talks back at them like, okay, look, she's shit at this job. A very good reason to go get another job, maybe something she's actually passionate about, where she will not beat up everybody or will not be rude to everyone, right? But we didn't see any of that. It was just that I hate my job. We don't even know that she hated, well, maybe she hated the job. We don't know if it's really hate or she's just not good at it. And then when she was having that conversation with her boss, and the next thing is like, don't you think you would have done something? And that boss went into, I'm like, oh God, just get it all. Just let her go and cook rice, I beg. Like, we get it. So it's almost as though Love in Pandemic was written again with post-its, writing key plot lines on post-it and trying to use rope to tie everything together. Like, does not matter how it gets together, just flipping get together and they'll put it on. So nothing comes together wholly. And that's why I don't know if anybody else did, but there was no connection with her plight. Nothing with DM's character too. There was almost apart from that, oh, my PR online geek thing. I'm like, okay. And then, oh, I would design this for you. Okay. It was not so much of why these two different people in ways where they get each other enough to want to explore this thing beyond friendship, beyond our sister saying, you like him. I was even wondering, how did you know she liked him? Was there a sign? Like, I'm sure you smiled when you called his name, man. Does it work like that? But okay, maybe it works like that. Again, I think the entire thing, it's cute. Personally, for me, I didn't think it was that interesting. At some point, I was just watching it as background noise, but it was nice to stare at. And it was like, oh, yeah, fine. They fell in love. Oh, that was nice. He ran. Oh, he almost fell. Yeah, great. But I'd seen better, right? I watched this and then I went to watch Letters to a Stranger. Like, I watched it And I paused, I think I watched into the night, like midnight, and then I went straight to YouTube and typed Letters to a Stranger so that I can relive what I watched some 14 years ago. But anyways, thank you. That's all I do not like about this.
Thank you. Well, more things are test.
I know.
You're
I'm
having
like, I have so much to
fun
say
today.
today.
Go
But
on.
no, I was just gonna say that I thought it was funny that she said that she's bad at her job because her boss actually calls and says, "You're so good at your job. You're usually the best." So I don't know what's been happening this last couple of weeks.
Let
So
me tell
yeah,
you why the boss
just
said that.
I just
That
I
first scene, the
just
opening scene where she was like, I can leave, man, come on, that was their way of telling us she was semi good at her job, but no, it just came off really like she was really bad.
that's so crazy.
Wow. Are people finished? All right. Let me see. Is there any more comments coming through? I think there have been some. Some people are just having conversations in the old comment section. By all means. Yes, I think I've just put up the poll just in case you wanted to select, do your votes for this. It's up there. If you haven't watched it, it will be there till Tuesday. All right. Everybody says, I liked the Uber driver dialogue. All right. Okay, that was from a while ago. Sorry. Yes. Mel says all this callbacks to Letters to a Stranger, and Yinka is not here. Yeah, I know, right? Yes. Yinka she's away. She's away this weekend. She did let us know that everything's okay. We should have her back next weekend. This weekend, we can see this basically in honor in honor to Yinka. All right. Okay, I think it's Cynthia, right? I think Cynthia left. Go on, Cynthia.
Oh, great. Yeah. So I've actually stopped writing my points for Nollywood because my tablet is not being useful in my research. Anyway, so back to Letters to a Stranger. I don't know. More really set me off with watching Letters to a Stranger before Loving a Pandemic because nothing was exciting me about Loving a Pandemic. In fact, I actually do not think there was love anywhere. And for real, I did not believe there was a pandemic. I did not believe there was a pandemic. So let me start from there. Um, I felt like they wanted to do, oh, we are falling in love in a pandemic, and they were like, okay, um, let us have people that wear masks. What? Oh, someone just said, and I was like, what happened during pandemic? People wore masks. People stood in line in supermarkets to get grocery. People, what? I can't remember what they did. Okay, people died. So let's put a scene where someone died and they're carrying the person. There's a news. So let's do it. I know they put these shots of things happening in pandemic, but it's kind of felt like the election Ogba scene of the market scene where they just had to put a market scene to show that there's a market in the village. That was exactly how the old pandemic felt for me in this movie. Like, oh, things happen in a pandemic. So let's just put all these things. And at no point did I ever feel that they were in a pandemic. And talking about pandemic, I got tired of hearing pandemic. I got tired of hearing pandemic in this movie. Oh, we are in a pandemic. Oh, in this pandemic. Oh, in this pandemic. I really, really got tired of hearing pandemic in this movie. Then let's go to DME. Like everyone has said, I watched Letters to a Stranger. And when I heard Yemi Black voice, and anybody that knows me personally, we know that I do appreciate good voices. Okay, I can fall in love or in lust when I hear a good voice. And there was butterfly in my stomach, and it turned, and his face, and the way he behaved. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. And we have this DMA with Purple Udi showing me his black lips, his talking, his voice is very familiar. And then they tried to do one big review, and I'm like, waiting with this. What am I supposed to do with this? Am I supposed to fall in love with this character? Or am I supposed to, like, I don't even know. And honestly, with the whole your voice is nice and everything, I don't know. I didn't just buy anything. I know Nasisime's acting was very, very Nasisime, but at the same time, I also did not like DME playing this lover boy role because there was really nothing for me that was giving me, there was nothing that it was giving in this movie that was giving me butterfly in my stomach. The way Yami Black gave me butterfly. Oh my god. No, you guys need to see I was badly behaved yesterday on my WhatsApp status. The way Yami Black gave me butterfly in my stomach. So there was really, really nothing from the Yami that was giving that. Then what else again? I don't even know. Yes, like everyone has spoken about is chubby. And honestly, there was no time I felt she was chubby. And there was no time I felt she lost weight that would or that mattered. So I honestly do not know. The voiceover, in fact, the first part that turned me off in this movie was when they did the introduction and Asisime was talking and it felt like she was reading news. I was like, yay, we don't enter. Oh, we don't enter. And that's why when Tenny appeared and she gave attitude, I was like, thank God. Thank God there's something. Yeah, there's someone here that can act. Then I don't even know. Like the whole falling in love, the whole conversation. A lot of time the conversations were I don't know what I don't know. My boyfriend is this. My boyfriend is that. Do you think he will like me? Go and do something that a man will do. No, go and do something for him. Show up in his house. I honestly don't know. I'm telling you guys that I cannot have those kind of conversation with a gate man because I'm usually good in holding conversation. No. Hmm. I cannot have that kind of conversation with a gate man. And I'm wondering why people that were supposed to fall in love, we have those kind of conversation. At no point did it feel like there was something from the conversation that made them like each other, that they want to continue the conversation. Because back to Letters to a Stranger, when the whole thing was happening and the Motorola phone would be like, Jemima, pick up your call. I'll be like, Jemima, better pick up that your call. Because both of them were talking about their interests, their yesterday he likes book, he also likes reading, and I was like, Jemima, pick up that call now. So the whole conversation with Nancy Sime's character and Deyemi in whatever led to them falling in love, him being angry and leaving Asaba. In fact, even him, honestly speaking, when he was in the car, when he was running and he fell down, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know where he was running to because someone that comes to Lagos leave his bag in the taxi, took bike, got into an estate, ran, and we also did not know what was happening. So I even found out the address of everything and came. Anyways, but there was my point is there was nothing. There was nothing to make me believe that they even like each other. Cause that is like I mean, the way they're talking is something you have with someone that you just want to stop talking. I don't know. And back to the cooking thing, like Mo said, when the whole thing started, because she was literally eating Pringles and drinking juice, and I was like, okay, so we're going to get something with this chubbiness. And then she said, I can't remember how the cooking thing happened, but I think somebody mentioned jollof rice and grilled chicken. Yes, Esodike's character. Esodike's character mentioned jollof rice and grilled chicken. And the next thing, this baby's in the kitchen cooking. And I'm like, no, nah, guys. Guys, what is really, really going on? And they want me to believe at that moment that this is an interest when it was not introduced. Like I said, everything felt like they're saddened, there were things that they think will happen. So in a pandemic, this is what we do. And they have those snapshots. And at the ending, I could see that, okay, they're just putting things that happen in a pandemic, but nobody in that movie is behaving like this there was in a or they are in a pandemic. Maybe except the Uber driver, I don't know. But nobody was behaving like this is COVID-19 pandemic, or this is or we have COVID-19, or there's COVID-19 outbreak in Lagos. Same thing with the writing of girlfriends. And yes, there was also something about the women. So the women were written a bit dumb. So they were all dull. And they were written as people that just want to make out and have sex, and that's the reason why they're in a relationship. All of them. So none of them, and even the ones that were doing different triangle relationship, nobody could hold a good conversation. Everything just had to be, let us make out and let everything be about relationships. So I don't know how they wrote the women. And there's also Nancy Simi Pat playing the dumb character, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, what's not the case? But even though the babe that played Asudike's girlfriend and even Udrak, everything was just a bit dumb and just being in a relationship and let's just make out. Then I was saying something before I came here. I've forgotten what I was saying. Oh my god, I was saying something. Yes, I was saying, yeah, I was talking about the right thing. Yes. So like I said, the pandemic, so these are things that happen in pandemic, let's put it. So people are going to fall in love, so let's put that they fall in love. Maybe sometimes when people fall in love, they try to encourage interest. So even though we did not like establish this interest, let's give her an interest. So suddenly she's someone that can cook. Let's say that the guy is not supportive, is supporting her dream. Because from nowhere we're seeing Ultimate Chef. I always wanted to be in, when I was in primary something, I cooked, and now I want to be in Ultimate Chef. And then the guy went to go and do something for her, so she'll be in Ultimate Chef. And so she became a white card. I don't get it. But that was how it was written. The boyfriend will become supportive, is going to pursue her dream. So let's give her this dream of cooking and let him be the ones to support her. And then sometimes when girls break up, they get angry to the extent that, so let's write Nancy Sime's character. When Esodike comes, she will be angry. She will carry stone and she will break the car. So she carries stone and she hits the car. I don't know, but it just felt like, I'm sorry, but that's how I felt. Like they just had this whole idea of how things happen, and they put it and they make sure that those things were there. And yeah, I don't know. I did not like the movie. I did not enjoy it. A lot of time I was uninterested. I did not feel the romance. I did not feel the love. I didn't feel the pandemic, even though they did the whole short they were doing. I I think I'll go back and watch Yemi Black and Genevieve because I had a good time. Okay, and this was just a bitter taste. That's all for me.
All right. I think people are gonna get people's summary is going to be letters to strangers at this point. We are talking about love in a pandemic, despite all of the references to letters to a stranger from, I don't know what group chat you guys are in, all of you put there. Letters to a stranger soon. But thanks for everybody else who's been talking. Let me go to some of the comments. The Ebube says, my bad. So the gap between when he said he's getting on a flight and getting to the naming, who was he talking to, how and where, they did not need to add that cooking competition. It was just a loose part. The narration thing could necessary. Also, is it me, but that her room, although fine, was it the pay grade of a customer care agent? Mrs. C, you were talking about her Chanel bag, whether she could afford it. I don't know. I've never bought a Chanel bag.
You shouldn't be saying that outside. That's an indictment on your personality.
I just don't think it would suit me, to be honest. So
I'm blaming.
the everybody says, finally, when did she change her clothes while doing narrations? Okay. Okay. I thought that was over. Further dislikes. What was pursuing Demi? I think everybody was. Do you know what? When I was watching that part where he was running, I just assumed I missed something. I just amused. Like, did I? I just assumed we missed something. Honestly, there was no timeline because how many was the pandemic that how long was the pandemic that the sister found out she was pregnant and born in the same pandemic? They actually did not tell the Uduak story. Bolanle's tongue was not Yoruba. Fair enough. All right. Okay. Mrs. C.
Okay. What did I not like about Love in a Pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wish there was more calm. Rom-com, Jesus,
Christ.
rom-com. Oh my
You
God.
should start with that to give people the context.
I wish there was more comedy, right? Because I don't think we've been doing romantic comedies. We've been just trying to do romance, and there's very little to haha at. And I think part of a romance, or you need to have the haha, right? So
It could just be romance.
It could just be romance, I know, but I've been watching rom-coms lately. I want to watch rom-coms.
No, I agree with you. I think there was a point where they had that soundtrack of it's comedy time with that staccato comedy sound that's popular, but
because it was
because
it was mostly a light-hearted thing, right? Like it's love in a pandemic, but like nobody is we're not really focusing on the actual horrible stuff to do with COVID, right? So it's like a light-hearted something, but we're not getting comedy out of the light-hearted stuff. Then also, Nancy has not played a romantic interest that I have liked, not even once. And I found this lead also seriously unlikable. And it's not like I need leads to be just as a baseline likable people, right? But there needs to be something about them that I like. Does that make sense? Like they have to be charming or funny, or
especially if the movie wants you to root for them.
Yes, especially if the movie wants you to root for them. There just has to be something about you that I find interesting, or attractive, because then I can see why this person that is falling in love with you is falling in love with you, if that makes sense. But I wasn't getting that from that. Look, we know we're watching this and we know SODK's character is up to no good, right? We know it, but she doesn't know it, right? And he's going, he's a doctor. He's like, there are people dying. And she goes, I'm dying. Sis!
All right.
What is wrong with you? That character kind of sucked, if I'm being honest. It's like, we know he's doing her dirty, but she doesn't know he's doing her dirty. For all she knows, he's working in the pandemic, and she's like, my greatest fear this pandemic is that my boyfriend, who is a doctor, won't be around. Not like could get hurt, could die, could get sick, won't be around. Like, you are a very selfish person. And it doesn't improve. There's no arc. There's no change with that. It's just who she is. All right, cool. Whatever. What else did I not like? This guy's whole situation with Teniola's character, I don't get it. I just don't. Like, how many of you's exes will walk into your homes and say, I'm staying, and you're like, no, and they're like, yes, and you're like, fine. Like, how many of you, like, how are they forcing a grown man to be in a relationship?
Like Udwak.
Shut up.
Come on now.
How are they forcing?
Come on now.
How are they forcing? This is a big grown man, right? He's not just a grown man, right? He's a grown man who has started this thing with somebody that he's interested in. So, like, his feelings are otherwise engaged, right? And somebody just moves into your house and is remoting you up and down. I don't understand it. Okay, she gave him head. Big deal.
You say she what?
She gave him head. Big deal.
We don't know how good it was. I feel like you're
I'm assuming it was very good.
Hey, from his expression, I think he was happy with the performance.
I mean, the fact that he let her walk into his house and just stay there, right? He must have had memories of some guac. So maybe it just made no sense to me. Absolutely no sense.
I already know that between no offense, between Nancy and the other babe, we already know who they prefer sexually. SODK's character.
Esso's character.
Yeah, we already know who they prefer sexually. I'm just saying.
I'm talking to that guy.
I'm just saying in terms of who Demi is picking up. Udwak is.
I have no idea what that's about. Anyway, I'm just saying that whole situation with Udwak made absolutely no sense. Absolutely no sense to me. I didn't understand it. It wasn't enough of a. Yeah, we didn't need that second love triangle, to be honest. I know they needed the thing to like split them up and then get them back together, but it just felt like such a nothing burger. Then what else did I not like? Yeah, that running. I don't know what was going on. I know that rom-coms need to have a running scene.
We're talking about
Oh,
this
we have?
running.
Yeah, I know you need to run, but like, yeah, I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, I think that's about it. It was just there were those things here and there. I don't like narration can go and die. Let's never narrate in English. If we narrate in a language I don't understand, I can assume it's fine. But let's not narrate in English ever. And I'm really sad Nancy gained weight for this role. I really am. It was a waste of her time. Absolute waste. I really hope she enjoyed all the food she had to eat. I hope that was nice. And yeah, those are the things I did not like about Love. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. C. Tarara. Oh, I forgot Tarara's about. Tarara, please tell us more, did not like, things you liked and did not like about Love in a Pandemic. Tarara, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
Good evening. Okay. Well, I'm going to just say this. I feel that they just had the idea of, oh, let's make a movie about a love story in a pandemic. They just put two and two together, put actors on set and say, let's do this. Because as a viewer who likes love themed movies, I struggle to follow through this particular movie. First thing, yeah, I liked the because how would you say your boyfriend is a doctor and he will stay at home with you during a pandemic? I mean, the first thing you should be thinking about at that point should be the safety of your boyfriend. Oh, he's going to go to work or something like that. You're thinking of your boyfriend, not the fact that not the fact that he's going to be at home with you during a pandemic. That's one. Two, I read the Tenny and Demi's part. I don't know. Even if they wanted to include a love triangle to make it, to add more flesh to the story, I feel they did not explore that triangle well. I mean, we just saw Tenny coming in today and me saying I'm staying. She stayed. Why did they break up? I mean, why? I know they mentioned at the end of the day about genotype or something like that, but they just gave us one thing to brush it off for an arc that was supposed to be a major part of the story. It was not well done at all. Now, I think apart from Superstar, I've not really felt Nancy as a romantic movie lead. I've struggled to follow her as a romantic movie lead. So this movie, I was hoping I was going to see something, but I didn't see it. I don't know. She didn't carry me along because in this movie she was the narrator. It was through her eyes. We were basically watching the movie, and she didn't do it for me. And the aunt or the sister she was always talking to over the phone, their conversations were centered around men. I know that Nigerian society, yes, once a certain age, once your mom, your sister calls you about, oh, who are you, your boyfriend, your this boy, it was so centered around men who she was going to marry that I felt like there was nothing else they had to speak about. That was the way it felt. And another thing was this about Esodike and Nancy's character. The bond that they supposedly had that made Nancy stay, me as a viewer, I did not see it. The conversation she was having with Deyemi that was supposed to make us, follow her and, see how they fell in love. Like I think Cynthia mentioned, I didn't understand how those conversations can make anybody fall in love. I was waiting for the conversations that would really lead to us falling in love with them. Like somebody mentioned Letters to a Stranger, Yemi Black and Genevieve. And I don't know, you could follow that particular movie and you could see, but this one, I don't know. It's been a long time in Hollywood romantic movie made me cheesy like fine wine. I think that's the last movie they made in this genre that has been really good. The writing of this particular movie, they didn't have lines. They did not have lines at all. And the ending, she wondered why was she cool? What was the name of this movie? Was it this lady called Life that F.I. Wara and Visola were doing that they were trying to cook? That was what reminded me of them trying to cook in this lady called Life. It was like they just joined a lot of things together to make a movie about a love story in a pandemic. I think I put in a comment section that they tried everything to remind us that they were in a pandemic. Every scene, they tried to remind us that they were in a pandemic. Oh, we're in a pandemic, we're in a pandemic, we're in a pandemic. I mean, we as the viewers, there's some things you should not tell us. There are things you should be able to follow naturally because we are watching, because the story has the capacity and power to carry us through those things. And I'm sorry, Love in a Pandemic did not deliver in these aspects. Fine. I didn't speak about the things I liked. Like I liked some things about the movie. I liked the fact that they were barefaced. They were at home, they were barefaced. The lighting in the room was actually nice. You know, the setting of the house was also very nice. I mean, they put a lot of effort in the set design. Let me use that word, and it was really good, and we could see it. I just wish that there was a very good and beautiful mushy stories to go with it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Tarara. Well, we're going to have an August visitor here on the mic in Mel. But before Mel goes on, I just want to read some of the comments. Rinta says they're going to make me watch Letters to a Stranger now. I think that's the point. I think that's the point of all these propagandists on this stage right now. Tita says, but did they market it / present as rom-com though? I don't think they did. Yeah, I think I said that to Mrs. C. Like it can be romance. It just, I think what she was saying was that it would have added another dimension to this. But yeah, okay. That's all of the comments I think so far. Mel, are you ready? I don't know if Mel is ready.
Yes, I am.
All right.
I just had two things to say. I thought that my dislikes had already been covered. But I wanted to say something nice and then see the one thing that I think was my biggest grouse. So my like was that I really liked the Bolanle soundtrack. I thought it was a vibe. The end. My dislike, and the thing that irks me the most, I think, is that the way in which they introduced the pandemic, it feels everybody is suddenly sure of what to do in a pandemic, and this was not the case. It does say love in a pandemic, but the rest of the film makes it clear that this is the COVID pandemic, right? And by the time the pandemic hits, like very few people, unless you were like in America during Zika or in Central and parts of East Africa during Ebola, like you did not know what a pandemic was, and you did not know what to expect, right? The expectation that she was gonna be with her boyfriend during the lockdown, nobody thought it was going to last that long. We thought maybe a week tops, and then it became a month, and then 3 months, and then some countries were locked down for almost 2 years, right?
Have we lost Mel? Can anyone else hear Mel? Hello?
We've lost Mel.
Yeah, I think she dropped off.
No, we lost it.
All right. Yeah, okay. I guess I'm gonna jump off that point Mel was saying, especially with regards to the pandemic. I guess somebody had already mentioned it as well, in the sense that I think it was Cynthia mentioned that the pandemic wasn't really felt like people kept on saying in a pandemic, yes, but like, what this film forgets to do is like build the world of the pandemic for the film. It just goes, the pandemic, right? That thing that happened, and it just throws you in. And that's not really what you're supposed to do as a film, because if we watch this 10 years from now, or 15 years, or if anybody visits this 15 years from now, the thing would be, I'm sure they're going to have many questions because they don't set a lot up, or, like some things are just taken as, well, yeah, of course we're supposed to stay. And like during that period, all of our conversations were so consumed by this one in several lifetime event that was going on, and this movie only basically pays lip service to it at best. It's just yes, like I think other people have made that point. So I guess I'm pivoting into my bad now. I thought Nancy was very bad. I'll keep on saying it. I started from Superstar. I was the only person. Well, I wasn't. I think somebody else was semi by my side that time. I was saying that I don't see a good performance in that. I don't know the woman. I don't. I'm sure she might be a very nice person. I'm just talking about her performances in films, especially as romantic lead. Actually, just generally, to be honest, I don't. Now we say people understand the assignment. I feel like this is the opposite of that. I think there are lines that somebody else, the same lines that Nancy delivered, I think somebody else could have delivered them, and I would have felt more. I felt more empathetic, and I would have felt less repulsed by the character. Everything about her feels whiny and just somebody who hasn't understood life. I'm reminded very strongly about her Kambili character as well in this. It's not something, it works for somebody. I will say, just in defense, fine wine is my trigger word. A couple of trigger words. I do not like that film, and I don't think that film is anywhere near. I think this film is superior. I don't care what you people on here say with the RMD, this thing. That film doesn't care about filmmaking, and I don't care. Anyway, Nancy, I've said Nancy's bad. Weight of Nancy, I think people have said. The atmosphere, yeah, people have spoken. I think the way the love develops between Alex and what's her name? Is it Bukola? Bolanle. I remember I remember Dwack's name. I remember Alex's name. I do not remember her name. I don't care. I don't like this character. Anyway, but I think I actually like more the broad strokes of this film. But like when it comes to the nitty gritty, the dialogue, how to get there, or like how to develop the actual storylines, plot beats of the film, I don't think it does it particularly that strong. It's just such a shame that like when your lead is just, for me, this bad, your movie doesn't stand a chance in terms of being. Your movie it's not going to have a chance of like, hitting all the fields and thing everybody else kind of wanted to do. As me, as somebody that I actually just kind of can appreciate other aspects of filmmaking, I appreciate the aspects of like the directing, the lighting. I liked like Damis. I liked quite a lot of the cinematography in this. I liked Damis acting, Udwak's acting, but I do have to say, Udwak, sexy and hot as she is, I don't, and honestly, I don't see why Alex can't just adopt children. To be honest, just adopt children. What did he? Goddamn, forget she lied to you about your genotype. Look at her. Adopt children. It's not that bad. It's not that big a deal. Actually, that's tongue in cheek, but like when she said she lied about her genotype, I really would have preferred almost at least they would have hinted to problems, like past problems. Like maybe this is a relationship that has tried and failed, and like he doesn't think it's worth it. And it's just something that he keeps on falling back into. That's actually sort of what I was getting onto until she opened her mouth to say, until he rather, it was Alex that opened his mouth to say it's because she lied about genotype. That's what sort of ruined that for me, because I was happy to just think, oh no, it's just because if you're a guy and and you've been on the street sometimes until you find the one, there's that babe that is just always it's just to hold body for a placeholder until you see somebody. Maybe this is what this babe was to him. Maybe like that's what it could have been. But yeah, it sort of spoils it for me without explanation. Yeah, but like I have to say, the other parts of the filmmaking I was particularly comfortable with. But yes, it's hard to root for somebody. It's hard to root for somebody played by Nancy Sime at this point in her life. To be honest, that's just how I feel about this, and it's not working for me. Anything else in the movie that was egregious? Not really for me. I think we've covered most of that. Okay, if we can do our summaries whilst I check for more comments. Vanessa.
Hola. So I have my AirPods in, so my sound might be a little off because I'm at the train station. But summaries, all in all, pretty mid, especially on the long bit of it, which is a huge bit of it. But yeah, nice enough visuals. The song with the music video at the end, really fun. If not for anything, just go and watch it and fast forward to the end so you can listen to that guy with his cute little two buns at the top of his head sing the song. And then go and watch Letters to a Stranger.
Wow, the Letters to Strangers cult, the cult and the agenda continues. Not on MySpace. Well, actually, pick. I can't remember. Atas.
Hi. Okay, so I'm stealing a bit of a Yinka's usual review here, both as a tribute to her since she didn't make it this time. But I honestly think if you want to watch it, you should. You'll probably not hate it. It's great. Like it's background noise in between. I don't know. I wouldn't seek it out to watch it again, but if like family or friends are over and wanted to watch it, I wouldn't protest. It's a solid 6 as a movie where she finds herself and like dumps the annoying boyfriend and there's like a hint at falling in love, but it does a lot less solidly if we'd say it's a romance or a rom-com since it doesn't explore the romance enough. However, that's maybe us boxing into that genre as opposed to the writer and the director there. I like seeing Dayami explore his range as a sweet guy, and I like the song at the end. It's very Lifetime, very CW. It's okay. It's cute, but let's never do that monologue again.
All right. Thanks, Atas. Pixel Bite.
Okay, so this is a cutesy movie where we're supposed to be works as a background noise. I've watched it twice, so you don't have to watch it twice or once. But don't take my word for it. If you want to watch it, please go ahead. It's not bad. The production is good. Visual is good. Writing is thumbs down. Acting is a toss up. All of the other things are just neither here or there. But if you want something that feels cute, yeah, go ahead, watch it. I will not be watching it a third time. Thank you.
All right, fair enough. Thanks, Pixel Bite. Omar, did you please give us your summary?
Okay. Summary. I would say it's okay. I would recommend it for someone to watch. It's average. The movie is average. I would say someone to watch for Teniola Alade Share. I think she's good. Watch for this guy, the Nancy's ex-boyfriend. He was good looking in it. If you want to see this guy in something else, playing Liverpool, what is his name? The lead
Yes,
guy. DM.
Damn.
DM.
Demi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch it for Demi and for the jollof rice plots. Watch it for the jollof rice plots. So that's all I have to say about the film. Actually, it's okay, not that bad.
All right. Thanks so much, Gigi. I think it is Cynthia.
Well, yeah, I mean, the title is Love in a Pandemic. There was no pandemic. I don't care that they kept telling me there was a pandemic. There was no pandemic. I didn't think there was love anywhere at all. And yeah, I will not watch it again. I watched it once and I'm angry. And I would definitely not recommend it because I've been recommending Letters to a Stranger. Because I've been recommending Letters to a Stranger. I mean, I want people to feel butterflies in their stomach and not this, except that you might not like the ending of Letters to a Stranger, but at least feel the butterfly in your stomach. Yeah, that was it for I'm sorry, this is for me. Like no love, no pandemic. I was really uninterested. Yeah, I don't think I recommend it.
Okay, thanks, Cynthia. Tarara.
Okay, I watched it once, and I do not think I want to watch it again because it did not deliver on what was promised in the trailer. Because I saw the trailer before I went to the cinemas, and it didn't deliver. The characters, apart from Tenny, that was a standout, and I'm glad she got an AMVCA nomination for it. Um, they didn't deliver the lines, the story. They just had a goal, but they did not know how to arrive at that goal. Simple. It could have been way better than it was, and I wished it was better. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tarara. Mrs. C.
I think this was fine. I wouldn't be rewatching because I found it a bit dull for me. And I think if it was I think I've decided I like rom-coms more than I like romances. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, I did find it a bit dull for myself, so I wouldn't be watching. But that's like a rewatch, right? I wouldn't be rewatching, but I think it was fine.
In defense of romance, right? I think, and I think this is to part of the reason. I think you might have stolen this rom-com thing from me, but the reason why I think initially it was that this probably would have worked nice as a rom-com is, and you did partly allude to, is that because it's so light, right? There's nothing particularly that dramatic about it. So like if you're doing like a romance, you add other stakes that, ooh, something's gonna happen if this don't, yeah, right? Like, yeah, but like because there are no real stakes to this, then you need to give us something else. And comedy is usually the other thing one gives us. And so it didn't do that. Like, so like if you're doing a romance, you either make it serious and give us drama, or make it light and give us comedy. That's usually how these things kind of work. I think that's what we're going at. Atash?
I mean, but it gives you like self-discovery and self-growth. It's on its own side journey.
I mean, side journey is I mean, like, that's an arc that any movie should have. And if we're talking about, I'm just saying, like, in terms of romance, like, if you want to do romance drama,
but it's like
rom-com,
romance feel good. It's not necessarily rom-com.
It's like what? Romance?
It's
what?
Like a feel-good romance. It's not a rom-com. Like it seems like you're typecasting it as a romance, or you think it would have worked better as a romance. But I don't think it was aiming as a rom-com. Like there's no comedy in it, and I think that's on purpose.
Could you? Yeah, no.
Aiming as a rom-com, I just think it would have worked better.
Okay, essentially, could you give me an idea of like a romance that isn't like dramatic or comedic? And
I mean, I'm sure if I think about one, I will find one. But I feel like a feel-good romance is not it doesn't sound like a new trope. It doesn't feel like a new trope. Like it didn't feel like I was watching something that they had created or invented. It just felt like an easy breezy sort of romantic movie.
Yeah, no, I don't think I disagree with you. I just think a lot of feel-good romances are rom-coms. In my head, that's.
I mean, we have feel-good romance out there. It's just, I think the problem with this one is the romance was just not there. Like romance drama works all the time.
I think there's a lot of comedy in those. Is what I'm saying. Like
the feel-good ones do have comedy.
Like, again, if somebody has an idea, like, so, what's this thing called? The one we just watched?
Wedding Dates.
No, the good one, the one with the British one.
Oh, Man Up.
Ryling. Thanks.
Oh, Ryling. Sorry.
that's a feel good that's
Yes,
a
Violent, a
feel good
feel-good
romance. That's it's a
yeah.
rom-com.
Yeah,
That's
no, wait, sorry guys, but like all those before series, right? They are also feel good. Like Jiggets, they also
But before
feel
it's
good with
serious,
no
though.
comedy.
Before it's serious.
the before
Yeah, but that's
series.
what I'm saying. That there's an
Um,
experience in there. It's romance, but it's not comedy. But there is like a
Before
journey. We
series
see
is
it
art
together.
house. Yeah. Before series is major art house. Like
Yeah,
before
but it's
series is
also
like
serious.
it's not. I would say it's not dramatic though. I think
The last one for sure.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's
the
true.
last
Actually,
one is the last one is a lot.
Yes, there's dramatic tension in two of them. Actually,
Yeah.
the first one is, but like they even put stakes.
It
But
was
like
easy breezy. That's
crazy
my
stakes, yeah.
point. My
Yeah.
point is it was easy breezy, right? Like flipped, like that. Those young children, whatever one. Like we
Yeah.
have things like that where it just shows their
I would
journey.
say,
It does
but
nothing, no big moments,
I
but
know
it's
I would
feel
say that
good.
that's not typical though. That's why I said like before sunrise is art house. No, isn't it? It's literally it's really
I mean,
a
when I watched it, I did
conversation.
not know what Art House was. I just know I was watching Before Sunrise,
And I
and
think
I liked it.
if this movie had tried
I
to do
know.
comedy, it would have failed even more spectacularly. And I feel like we should be starting there. like, we're
Okay.
giving it more
No,
things to fail at when right now it barely
no,
succeeds as a romance. But it does do the feel good really well.
no. Yeah, okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you pick one of these like maybe harder romantic drama or romantic comedy, you will pick up a more you'll pick up the templates for all of these things, and maybe those things would have worked out better for itself, right? So like, if you make it a more dramatic, you have to add more tension and you have to add more this here. If you have picked rom-com, like, yes, I think Elizabeth's right that especially the first one, the before sunrise, the before sunrise is like that. I wouldn't call that comedy or particularly hard dramatic, and yeah, maybe it's just feel good. I just think that that's an exception to the rule, and I think that's art house. That's Richard Linklater art house. That film is just a conversation between two people. It's not your. I wouldn't advise any Nigerian filmmaker to do any.
Which is sorry to cut you in. Sorry to cut into this because I think I mentioned it that I like this trope in romance where conversations between two people carry on, which is similar to Lunchbox, the Indian one.
Okay, those guys probably copied. All right, but anyway, I think we have two options next week. I think it's Passport and I can't remember something else that is coming out, like, or has already come out this week. I shall put the poll up. You guys can pick which one is our poison, and let us know. But thanks for everyone who came up and had a word, shared a comment, shared a tweet. We go again next Sunday, 6 p.m. Watt. And listen on the podcast if you can't do Spaces things. All right. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the episode. If you enjoyed listening and would like to join live, just follow us on Twitter at Iroko Critic and join us every Sunday, 6 p.m. West African time on our Spaces.